Presiding Officer. It gives me the greatest pleasure to present for the Honorary Doctorate of Engineering someone of whom Brunel could not help but feel the deepest sense of pride, Dr. Sheena Samara, for achieving all she has, in spite of the subtle forces of reactions that operate unseen to prevent any deviation from the expectation of social obligation and stereotype, provides a shining inspiration to all. That daring to challenge what we were fated to become is never futile as long as we follow the urgent rhythms of our heart. It is this basic philosophy of holistic being that has driven the trajectory of her personal and professional life. For her, a life without authentic communication with other human beings would be intolerable, incomplete. So after spending over 4 years immersed in the abstraction of applied mathematics, visualizing the invisible, she went on a journey of self-discovery that she describes as a necessary process of reverse engineering herself. It was this journey that enabled her to align the supernormal developments of her intellectual and her desire for human connections, and that has led her to becoming a rare entity indeed, an engineer with a human heart who values the importance of communicating to everyone the ideas that underpin the immense and immersive technologies of the world, for which we should all be grateful to her, though she would always do it anyway. Some might say that a career in engineering was figured in the stars for Sheena. Born and raised in London, her father, Sri Lankan-born father, is a building service engineer who also studied in London. With his own engineering consultancy, he inspired her to pursue the subject with an implicit expectation that she would follow in his footsteps. Though struggling early on in mathematics, she decided at last to apply herself with ruthless determination, sometimes getting as little as 3 hours asleep a night and improving her attainments in mathematics from 50% to over 90%, and developing in the process the typical traits of an engineer: inquisitiveness, technical creativity, analytical ingenuity, and the attention for detail. As the eldest of the 3 daughters, the plan was for Sheena to take over the reins of her father's consultancy, but the self-actuating force of a personality as aesthetically engaged and ethically driven as hers will set all plans aside. For her A-levels, Sheena studied the STEM subjects of maths and physics together with English literature and opted to read for a degree in mechanical engineering at Brunel. On being awarded a first-class honours, Sheena was sponsored by a fluid dynamics software company while employed by them to study for a doctorate in engineering at Brunel. Her fascination with fluid dynamics became the subject of her thesis, Dynamic Thermal Modeling using Computational Fluid Dynamics. After gaining her doctorate in 2004, Sheena, feeling that in her single-minded striving for academic excellence, she had pushed her emotions aside so completely that she felt loss of being fully human. This embarked her on a turbulent process of self-analysis for several years through meditation, long road trips in America, exploring her ability to paint, to create, to perform by taking acting classes. She had broadened her self-awareness to a degree that she felt allowed her to make meaningful choices that give genuine human purpose to her life. She has also developed an interest in science communication and began going into schools to speak about computer simulations and mathematics. Becoming curious about deploying these communication skills, the more ubiquitous platforms of television, she approached numerous production companies that specialized in science and technology content, despite knowing nothing about the industry at the time. After working for several years in various capacities behind the scenes in television, Sheeny was invited in front of camera to broadcast a live segment on the BBC's One Show. Since then, she has hosted and presented numerous television programs in the UK and internationally. Her educational YouTube series, Crash Course Physics and Crash Course Engineering, have together amassed over 58 million views. Being not only a woman, but a woman of color in engineering, Sheeny felt that acute sense of marginalization of the underrepresented almost 20 years ago when she graduated. Today, she is driven by those experiences to do her utmost to ensure that women in STEM never feel outnumbered or unrecognized again. Her weekly Vobcast, this is the video equivalent of the podcast, provides a platform for women in STEM to share their experiences. And the United Nations invited her to make an address during the 2017 International Women and Girls in Science Day. Sheeny has made it her life's mission to improve equality, diversity, and inclusion in STEM subjects. Her 7 books for young adults translates complex concepts in science and technology through engaging, accessible, and informative content that children will want to read. They are designed to make STEM subjects appealing to minority groups and to encourage underrepresented talent. Her presentations on fiendishly technical subjects on broadcast television and on YouTube are conveyed in an uncondescending manner of sparkling playfulness that it is a joy to behold and will not fail to inspire millions to come and drink that fountain of true enlightenment. Please stand. Presiding Officer, in recognition of her service to the university, I'm delighted to present to you Dr. Sheeny Sumara, the award of an Honorary Doctorate of Engineering, honoris causa.
Yes, you stay there. Yes. By virtue of my authority as presiding counsel, I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Science, honoris causa. Congratulations. Well done. And you need your certificate.
Thank you all so much. I think you can sit down. Yeah. Can I just say congratulations to all of you. Seeing your faces as you walk past, you really inspire me today because honestly, I can see the relief on your faces. I can see the joy of the hard work and the dedication and the fact that you've got there today. This is your day, and I really want you to enjoy every moment of it because it truly is such an achievement to be here today. So well done to you. think I have a couple of minutes just to say a few words, and there's so much to say in such a short space of time, but I think I can summarize as saying that the person that gets this doctorate today, 19 years later, after getting my first doctorate, is a very, very different person. 19 years ago, what would I have wanted to hear? 19 years ago, I was getting my doctorate because I wanted to prove something. I was working so hard, and I just was absolutely obsessed about getting my qualification in engineering, because I really wanted to show everyone that I had a really good head on my shoulders, a big brain. And 19 years later, I think I've been really spending time working on this. You have embarked on a major step in your life's journey. Education is so crucial for so many reasons. It gives you gravitas. It makes you somebody in this world. But above all else is really living the life you want to live. Education is so important, but following your inner compass and following your heart is worth more than anything. And so today, to get acknowledgement of that journey of following that inner compass is invaluable, because that really has been more challenging than any kind of educational qualification. It's taking risks. It's choosing to do things when everyone says, "Are you sure you want to do that? Are you sure that's the right thing?" And doing it anyway. This is acknowledgement of that. So thank you so much. Thank you, Brunel.